almost nearly a stack of iron at this point. You will. If I'm correct, that's... Welcome, friend, welcome. Glad to have you here. Yeah. I heard that you're looking to have a iron golem generously donate to our village. I have to say, it's probably one of the most generous things that has happened around here in a long time. And well, I got myself my iron pen here, and I'm ready to craft up the recipe with you and go through the need of materials, and we can kind of get down to the bottom of what the golem's gonna look like, yeah, and any enhancements you want to have. You see, I'm somewhat of an expert in this. I'm more of a machinery man, and I used to work pretty frequently with the iron golems that have previously been in this village, but they've since gone, and they call me the iron golem expert here. But we can go over it together and talk about the need for materials. It shouldn't be too much from an adventurer as successful as you are. We've heard quite a bit about you, and well, we do know one thing. You are quite the adventurer, and we know that with your expertise, we'll probably be building quite the fine golem here. Yeah. Well, with that being said, have you ever built a golem before? You don't need to answer it now. You can always leave it on the board outside, and I'll take a look at it and let you know. Oh, you will. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm very glad to hear it, and I'm glad that we have someone as great as you. You know, technology is advancing in these parts, and we gotta take our opportunity to use the tools when we can. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the materials you need. Okay, there we are. Let's see. So firstly, if you haven't seen a golem before, they look like this. Head, body, arms, right? And then legs. This is very similar to how they look. And then, you'll forgive me, I'm not an artist, but I am a designer in terms of the machinery portion. But this is what the golem looks like. Now, there are a few things that we can kind of discuss. We're going to want to have to figure out how to do the proportions. Now, a lot of people mention that the proportions are actually, and then about 4 blocks. These two portions here are included in this. And for the head, we will need a unlit jack-o'-lantern, okay? It'll be important to get that, so we'll need pumpkins. So with that being said, we'll need 2 iron, right, for some shears, 1 pumpkin that will then be sheared and turned into a jack-o'-lantern. Okay, that's perfect. Now, let's get into the materials. An iron block looks something like this. If you look at this here, this is what an iron block looks like. We are going to need 4 of those. Now, to build an iron block, we will need, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 iron ingots. Okay, so 9 iron, and it's very important that we have these 9 iron for each block. So, if we're making 4 blocks, right, we're looking at 9 times 4, right? Yeah. So, that's a lot of iron. Now I understand that we did say that you are a successful adventurer, and I don't doubt it. But are you sure That's 36 iron, right? Oh, well, math was never my forte. Maybe we should count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So I was correct. We're going to need 36 iron plus the 2. That'll come up to 38 iron in total. With that being said, once you have the blocks, we'll be putting them like so. Now we're gonna want to put this in a secure location. We're gonna need to do that because we want to make sure that iron golems are secured and in a safe space when they come to life. It's a little bit dangerous because we never know what's going to happen if and who they're going to see as a threat. Once it's acquired, you're going to take your pumpkin and you're going to put the pumpkin on top. And then what will happen at this point will be the golem will come to life. It's an ancient magic from a long forgotten time. They used to study said magic in the great city. However, with the fall of the ancient portions, the greater libraries have disappeared, except of course for the library of that library has stayed around for a long time. It's extremely important that we keep the library of alive. So, once we have that, we're going to move into the enhancements. There's a few things we can do to enhance our golem. One big one is the following. For example, if you had feather falling, right, this would be a really good enchantment because it would allow the golem to fly. Or if you had fire resistance, this one would allow the golem to use fire as a defense. So, for example, when it's attacking zombies or so on, those zombies would light on fire. If you gave it aqua affinity, it would be able to use water as a defense. And for that, it means like pushing the mobs away and keeping them away from the villagers. Now, as we said, the village is large at this point. We've had some construction done recently, and we have several locations where the iron golem can be put up. However, we have had requests to be putting them into the center field. This will allow the golem to patrol from each direction, and I do also recommend this. I think it's very important that we try to have that golem at the center of the village and in no other way. At this time, we're looking to have one golem built, right? However, in the future, if possible, after your generous donation, we would really like to see if we could buy 3 to 4 golems from you over time and maybe work more on a contractual basis, right? And don't worry, Adventure, I'm going to be giving you this sheet. You can take this back to your base and decide what you're going to do with it. With the contractual basis, you'll be looking at a yearly wage of 72 emeralds a year. Right? So that would be a pretty solid payment that we can make. Now, of course, we are a village. If you wanted a higher commission, it is possible. It would require more golems with better enhancements. But we would have to talk to the great city about a loan, right? And see if we can make that to you. It's not out of the question, of course. We are very interested in working with you on a longer-term basis, but your generous donation is greatly appreciated. I think it's important that we have a great working relationship with adventurers such as yourself that want to contribute to the village. And, we've been we should name the village, and we think that it would be best to start asking you adventurers what the name of our village should be. It's quite the relaxing place, so if you come up with a nice, peaceful, and relaxing name for it, you should leave it on the board outside, and I'll bring it to the great city to see if we can get that name down. Someone such as yourself who donates a golem should have a say in that. We are so appreciative of the work that you've done for us. Yeah. With that being said, I think I'll let you go. I'm going to give this to you. There you are. Thank you so much for being here with us. We are so very appreciative, adventure, and we hope to see you soon. And when we get those materials for the golem, let's set it up. Yeah, looking forward to it. Goodbye now. Adventurer, do you think netherite is something that comes around every other day? I am not a goldsmith from the great city. You are in a village. I cannot give you netherite leggings. These edges are quite sharp. They need a little bit of cleaning, of course, but nothing to be too concerned about. My design flaws. These edges could definitely be a bit stricter on the next thing. Perhaps the wood could be measured a little differently, a different type of timber perhaps, and of course the hilt needs a bit of work. The diamond could be pure. I'll have to check with the verifiers next time. And I apologize. I didn't see you there, adventurer. I got caught up in my craftsmanship. How may I help you today? Oh, I see. You're here for a set of armor. Well, you've come to the right place, but of course, before we get into any business, I'm going to need to see a little bit of the green. Yes, emeralds, please. My service costs are not the highest, but I will say it costs anywhere between 8 to 12, but we'll do the whole transaction afterwards. It really depends on your order. Yeah. So why don't we get into that? Okay, well, let me just move my blade out of the way. It's pretty heavy. Alright, friend, let's see. So, you want a suit of armor, eh? Well, we can design one for you here. That will be, you will need a few things. Number one is a helmet. As you can see, this looks kind of like this, the helmet. You will have to forgive me, friend. I am no artist, but I am good at making my designs. The second piece you will need is, of course, the chest plate. Like so. Okay. Then you will need your leggings. And last are the boots. Now, I do have a question for you before we get into the design. Have you ever had armor before? And if you have, what has been your favorite type of armor? I'll let you ponder on it because I might throw in a little bonus depending on how our services go today. But if you could, on your way out, perhaps leave it on the board and let me know your favorite type of armor. Yes. Anyhow, for today, what materials are we looking for? Okay. So we'll start with that. We know what we're doing. A full set, of course. Nothing less for someone such as yourself. For the helmet, what type of material? You're looking for iron. Well, we can certainly do that. Can't settle for diamond. Alright, we can do diamond. This is very much doable. I can't believe you requested netherite. And lastly, boots. Iron. Oh, I see. You're going for a little match with the helmet. Still baffling you, said netherite. Whatever. Anyways, let us see. So, in order to get these materials, we're going to have to calculate some costs. It's going to require, understand? That's our trade. I'll give you a deal on the chest plate, but if you ever need netherite crafted, you bring it to me and I'll show you how good of a craftsman I am. Okay? Perfect. And these ones are 7. We'll give you a deal again. 6 emeralds. Let's do a bit of math. 12, 7. We're looking at 19 emeralds total. Right. 3, 10, 10, 6, 19. So your design is here. We're gonna call this the Gilded God look. And then you can destroy everything you want in your path with a Gilded God look. This is your design. I'm going to send this back to my smiths. So I'll take this. It is 19 emeralds total. Are you sure you're going to be able to handle that? You think so? Okay, well, you have some emeralds now. Let's see, well, let me see what you got. We'll decide if we're going to take it all. If you have all 19, I'll take it all now. If not, we'll wait till the armor is finished and you can pay that, okay? But I will take a deposit of 4. Let's see here, what do you got? Alright, I see. Oh, you do have quite a bit in there. I will take 4 emeralds from you. 1, 2, 3. That's a diamond. An amethyst. 4. And I'll leave you with the rest, but that'll be a security deposit in case you decide that you don't have the emeralds for it. Of course, these will go to your price, so you'll need to bring me 15 emeralds on the day of. But this will be good to secure the deposit. I'll give this back to you. Thank you. Just going to check if that's alright. I trust you, but I need to make sure, of course, I'm a craftsman. Yeah, that looks good. This one looks good. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Alright, well, looks like we have ourselves a deal adventure. Come back in 4 to 5 days, and the armor will be ready for you. You will, in fact, be the Gilded God. I'll see you soon. Thank you now. It should be good. 8 here. Gonna use the. So, welcome back, adventurer. It looks like there's a raid of zombies coming down to the village, and I think we're gonna need your help to hold them back. I have a couple things here to lay out the battle plans in order to defend the village, but I'm gonna need your help. Do you think you'd be able to do that? When was the last time that you fought a horde of zombies for the village? What about pillager raids? Have you ever done a pillager raid? Whatever. We don't need to answer that question right now. You can tell me about it or leave it as a note or a memo in my office later. Let's get to setting out some battle plans, shall we? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Okay. I got some of that mold here. We can use to kind of lay out the foundations of where the battlefield is going to be. I'm just going to grab some of this. Have it in this container. And we're getting quite a bit here because the battlefield will hopefully be outside the village. I don't think the horde is too big. We should be able to hold these zombies back. If I'm being honest. What I'm most concerned about is if we get raided by pillagers at the same time. So, what I'll be asking for is your aid in making are safe. I'm gonna need you to bring your best gear for this, because we don't know how many. We just know that from other village alerts, we got a horde coming. We got a horde coming fast. So we gotta make sure that we put them in their place. Let's cut this here. There we go. A bit on me. Shoot that down. Okay. This is about someone sums up the battlefield. I'm just gonna grab a little bit more. Okay. This should be good. Alright, perfect. This lays out a little bit of what we're looking at. Okay. I'm gonna use these here. So, this here is the village center. These small blue marbles here, these are small outskirt villages, or houses, I mean. We have a few people living out here as well. We want to keep them directed towards us the whole time. Okay. Perfect. The horde of zombies is currently located out here. We need to make sure that we're defending the village. And that's where they're closest to. And these homes out here. If we don't, we're going to have a serious issue. Now, what I think we could do, just grab my tool here. There we go. Is show our defenses. So essentially, this is just a little sword. What we want to do is make sure that we are in active positioning. I might need one more marble to signify us. Let me get it. This one right here. This one will be us. What I think we can do to stop this zombie horde, okay, is if we maneuver. Now you can't really tell. It's just it looks like a flat terrain. It's not flat though. If I were to use this, for example, hold on. I need to demonstrate right here. This is a mountain. It goes up and it blocks the horde from here. So while the zombies do seem closer to this town, they're actually not. They're actually a lot closer than these ones. So what I think we do is, unfortunately, I don't know how big the horde is, but while the horde's moving in, making their way to this location with these houses, because that'll be their first pull, we will maneuver ourselves through the village, up onto the hill. What we won't allow to happen is we will not allow the horde to get to this location. The horde will be about here. I'm putting them sideways before we come storming down behind and take them out while they're distracted. If we're lucky, we'll take the horde out, and then we have saved the village. This is plan A. This is our best plan, our best bet. So this is what we'll do. Adventure, while we're up here, I'll ask that you, if I can just get this going, are defending the village in case anything happens against the horde. You'll defend against the horde. That way, if we do manage to, or we fail and we can't slow them down when we get to this point, then you're there as a secondary defense. That's plan A. I'd appreciate that. Now, stop them in this village. If not, let's say they, worst case, eradicate the whole village. Then I'll ask you to retreat. We'll retreat, and we'll do our final defense here against the horde. And we'll say at this point, then, well, this village has been eradicated, but we hope that this does not happen. This is a worst case situation. So what we need is to make sure that we stop them right here. This needs to be where we stop them. Do you understand? We cannot fail here. If we fail, many villagers will die, and I know that you don't necessarily treat us the same way that we treat you, but that means less emeralds for you, so you need to make sure that they do not cross this border or take out this village. It's imperative that we stop them here. Now, I don't know what's on your diamond sword. Could I take a look? I could take a look at your diamond sword. Alright, well, let me first put away our diagram, and let's assess your sword, shall we? And if you're wondering what that code was on top of the lid of that, well, we use those codes to sort where our items are. Now, this mossy substance you see here is usually gathered from living caves. We use it for quite a bit. We use it to clean weapons, to clean tools. We also use it for diagrams, and you see it's so moldable. It's quite moldable. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, there's no time for dilly-dallying. We gotta get back to what we're meant to be doing. Got a little bit of leftover here. Move that out of the way. Alright. I see here that you have a plain diamond sword. Now, it seems to be good quality. However, it's gonna need a little bit of work. For sure. The edges seem good. It's a short sword. There's no enchantments on it. Okay. A little bit of scuffing here, not made in the best way. I can see that this is gonna work for our raid. Or our defense, I mean. What I'm gonna ask you to do before is get this enchanted. We're doing this tonight because the horde should arrive about nighttime tonight. What I'm gonna ask you to do is go see our alchemist and enchanter, and he will enchant your sword, either with unbroken, bro. I'm not sure yet. He might give you unbroken, but he might also enchant it with the fire aspect, and that would probably be the best for these zombies. You never know what kind of loot we might find too. Now, for your help in this, we're willing to pay 6 to 7 emeralds per hour of defense. Now, if we finish within the first hour, there's an incentive. We will give you 13 extra emeralds. If we finish in 2, that number decreases. That way, you're not thinking, well, if I keep it going, then there'll be more. The prize will be higher depending on how we finish. We're thinking 13 for the first hour to 26 if we finish within that time. And then we're also thinking that if it goes to hour 2, well, that goes down to 4 to 8. So, if we hit 3, then there'll be no bonus prize. But what I'm going to ask is that you get this done. Yes? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Adventure. I'll give you back your sword. Take it over to the enchanter today. You got a few hours left. You'll need some lapis lazuli, and you'll need a few levels. Go ahead and take that. There we are. Your job is going to be to stop these seeing you soon.